Yo, something happened in Washington, D.C. last night that has the internet completely losing its mind right now. And trust me, this is way bigger than just another celebrity rumor. Cameras caught Cardi B and Stefon Diggs together again in a way nobody expected. And now fans are convinced these two never actually broke up in the first place. But that's not even the craziest part. Because while Cardi was shutting down the stage in front of thousands of people, Stefon wasn't hiding in the background at all. He pulled up with his entire family. Sitting front row like this was already official. His mom was there, his brother was there, and people at the concert said he could not stop smiling the entire night. Now here's where everything gets messy. After the concert ended, Cardi and Stefon were both spotted leaving the same afterparty together. And according to people outside the venue, Cardi allegedly got straight into Stefon's car before they disappeared into the DC night. Meanwhile, Offset was online posting cryptic messages at the exact same time the videos started going viral. And just when fans thought the story couldn't get any wilder, rumors started exploding online that another woman may have just revealed she had Stefon's 8th child. Now, everybody's asking the same question. Is Cardi really back with Stefon Diggs? Or is this about to become the messiest celebrity situation of the year? Now, the reason this whole situation is blowing up so hard right now is because people thought Cardi B was completely done with Stefon Diggs. Like, seriously done. A few months ago, everybody online was convinced their relationship had quietly crashed behind the scenes. Fans started noticing the energy changed. Cardi stopped talking about him the same way. The public appearances slowed down, and those little hints on social media suddenly disappeared. And if you know anything about celebrity relationships, especially one involving Cardi B, people notice every tiny detail. One missing post, one weird facial expression, one awkward interaction, and suddenly the internet turns into full-time detectives overnight. But what really had people believing the breakup rumors were true was everything that started happening around Super Bowl weekend. Rumors were flying all over social media that Stefon Diggs allegedly invited one of his other baby mothers to events connected to the game. Nobody had clear proof of exactly what happened, but the internet grabbed onto the story immediately. And Cardi? She never directly addressed any of it. That's the crazy part. She didn't jump online screaming. She didn't go on live. She didn't type out one of those long, angry paragraphs celebrities always post when drama hits the internet. Instead, she stayed unusually quiet, and somehow that silence made people believe the rumors even more. Then came that moment everybody kept replaying online. Cardi was seen giving this cold reaction when Stefon's name got brought up around her. It wasn't dramatic, but it was enough for fans to say, yeah, something definitely happened. The clips went viral almost instantly. TikTok pages were breaking down her facial expressions frame by frame like it was a crime investigation. You had people saying Cardi looked hurt. Other people claimed she looked angry. Some fans even said she looked embarrassed. And once the internet starts building narratives like that, it spreads fast whether it's true or not. So for weeks, people ran with the idea that Cardi had finally walked away from Stefon for good. And honestly, a lot of fans supported that idea because they felt like Cardi deserved somebody more stable after everything she already went through publicly with Offset. People were saying she finally needed peace in her life instead of another relationship filled with headlines and drama. But here's the thing about Cardi B. She's unpredictable. One minute she'll completely cut somebody off publicly, and the next minute she'll pop back up beside them like nothing ever happened. That's why nobody ever fully knows where she stands emotionally unless she says it herself. And while all those breakup rumors were spreading online, Stefon Diggs was going through his own problems too. His football career suddenly became a giant topic of conversation. Sports pages were talking nonstop about his future. Fans were debating whether teams still believed in him. And social media started treating him like a guy whose career was slowly falling apart. Then the personal rumors started stacking on top of that. Stories about other women. Stories about possible cheating. Stories about family drama. Every single week felt like another headline attached itself to his name. That's why nobody expected what happened in Washington, D.C. Cardi was scheduled to perform in front of a packed crowd during her tour stop, and from the beginning, the energy around the event already felt huge. Fans have been posting videos all day outside the venue. People were lined up early. Social media influencers were there. Celebrity bloggers were there. Everybody knew Cardi was going to trend that night no matter what happened. But nobody realized Stefon Diggs was about to become the center of attention too. According to people inside the building, Stefon didn't try to sneak in quietly at all. He reportedly walked in confidently with multiple family members right beside him. His mother was there. His brother was there. Even people connected to his training team were spotted in the suite. And once fans recognized them, the whispers immediately started spreading through the crowd. People started pulling phones out instantly. Videos started getting uploaded before Cardi even hit the stage. Some fans couldn't believe what they were seeing, because if these two were really done, why would Stefon be sitting there with his entire family looking completely comfortable? And the internet really lost it once clips started showing Stefon smiling during Cardi's performance. Not just regular smiling either. People online were acting like this man looked happier than he had in months. Every little camera angle became evidence to fans trying to prove they were secretly back together. One viral post literally said, "That man looks like he already knows he got her back." And once that narrative started spreading, there was no stopping it. What made things even crazier was the timing. Earlier that same day, Stefon had reportedly posted something cryptic on one of his social media pages that fans now believe was connected to Cardi's show. At the time, nobody thought much about it. But after people realized he was actually at the concert, fans immediately went back searching for clues. That's how internet culture works now. The second something dramatic happens, everybody becomes an investigator trying to connect dots from weeks ago. Meanwhile, Cardi was on stage performing like none of this chaos was happening around her. But fans watching closely claimed they could tell she knew Stefon was there the entire time. People online started analyzing her body language during certain songs. They were saying she looked toward the suite multiple times. Others claimed her energy shifted once cameras started focusing on him in the crowd. Whether any of that was actually true didn't even matter anymore, because the internet had already decided this was a full-blown reconciliation story unfolding live in front of everybody. And honestly, the biggest reason fans were shocked is because Cardi and Stefon together never felt like a casual situation. Even when rumors about problems started surfacing, people still believed there was real emotion between them. You could tell by the way fans reacted anytime they were spotted together. Some people rooted for them heavily because they thought Cardi genuinely seemed happier around him. Others felt like the relationship was always surrounded by too much drama from the beginning. But either way, people stayed invested. Now suddenly, after weeks of rumors saying everything was over, Stefon Diggs is front row at Cardi B's show, with his family smiling like a proud boyfriend again. And trust me, what happened after the concert only made the situation even messier. After the show ended in Washington, D.C., things didn't slow down at all. If anything, that's when the real chaos started. Because according to multiple people outside the venue, Cardi B didn't just leave the building like a regular performer heading back to her hotel. There was an after-party happening nearby, and that's where a lot of the key moments from that night allegedly unfolded. Now Stefon Diggs was still in the area with his family earlier in the night, but what fans didn't expect was that he would reportedly show up. Again, at the after-party location. People who were there say it wasn't a secret arrival either. He was seen moving through the crowd with his brother, interacting with people, and staying very visible instead of hiding in a corner like someone trying to avoid attention. And at the same time, Cardi was also arriving and moving through the same space, greeting people, taking photos, and keeping her usual high-energy presence. This is where the story starts to split into different versions, depending on who you ask. Some people say Cardi and Stefon barely interacted at first, just passing through different sides of the venue like two people in the same room, trying not to make anything obvious. Others claim the energy between them was noticeable immediately, like there was no real distance despite everything the internet had been saying for weeks. And in situations like this, perception becomes the main driver of the narrative. But what nobody is debating is what happened when people started leaving. Outside the after-party, cameras and fans were already waiting, because anything involving Cardi B tends to draw attention even after the main event is over. That's when several clips started circulating showing both Cardi and Stefon leaving the location within a short time of each other. At first, it didn't seem like much. Celebrities leave events all the time at similar times. But then sources on the ground started claiming something more specific. According to those reports, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were allegedly seen getting into the same vehicle before leaving the area together. That single detail is what flipped the entire internet upside down. Because now it wasn't just they were at the same event, it was they left together. And in celebrity culture, that changes everything instantly. Within minutes, social media started going crazy. Clips were being reposted, slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame like people were trying to solve a mystery. Comment sections turned into full debates. Some people were convinced this meant they were officially back together. Others argued it could have been completely innocent, just two people leaving the same event without any deeper meaning. But the internet rarely stays neutral when Cardi B is involved. And while all of that was happening online, another layer of drama started building at the same time involving Offset. Offset, Cardi's estranged husband, reportedly reacted online around the same period those clips started spreading. Some users noticed he posted a cryptic image involving a car crash visual with no explanation, no caption, nothing else attached. And because of the timing, fans immediately connected it to what was happening in DC. Whether it was intentional or not became the biggest debate online. Some said it was just coincidence. Others said it was clearly emotional response behavior, the kind of post someone makes when they see something they don't like happening in real time. But what made things even more intense is that people already know the history between Offset and Cardi is complicated. Their relationship has been on and off for years, filled with public arguments, reconciliations, breakups, and everything in between. So anytime Offset reacts online, the internet treats it like part of the story, whether it officially is or not. And right in the middle of all that emotional chaos, another rumor started circulating that took things to a completely different level. Reports began spreading online about Stefon Diggs allegedly being linked to a new baby situation, with claims suggesting he may have recently welcomed a child with a woman who had been keeping her pregnancy private. Nothing about it was officially confirmed, but that didn't stop it from spreading rapidly across social media platforms. Screenshots, speculation threads, and fan theories started flooding timelines within hours. Now, what made this rumor even more explosive is the timing people started attaching to it. According to online speculation, this alleged situation surfaced around the same time as the DC concert events. That immediately made fans start connecting dots, whether those dots actually belong together or not. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from just Cardi and Stefon might be back together to something much more complicated involving trust, secrecy, and overlapping personal relationships. And of course, once a story reaches that level of complexity, the internet doesn't slow down. It speeds up. Fans started breaking it down from every possible angle. Some said Cardi would never ignore something like that if it was true. Others believed she already knew everything and still chose to show up publicly with him anyway. There were even people arguing that the entire situation was being misunderstood and exaggerated by online speculation culture, where every celebrity interaction turns into a full-blown storyline with no confirmed foundation. But what kept this story alive wasn't confirmation. It was uncertainty. Because at the center of everything, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were still being seen in the same spaces, still linked in real-time moments, and still fueling questions every time they appeared near each other. And in the world of celebrity gossip, uncertainty is more powerful than truth sometimes. By the end of the night in DC, the situation wasn't resolved at all. Instead, it expanded. What started as a concert appearance turned into a multi-layered internet debate involving relationship history, alleged family involvement, emotional reactions online, and unconfirmed personal rumors spreading across social platforms. And the biggest twist is that none of the main people involved have clearly confirmed anything publicly. Cardi hasn't explained the night. Stefon hasn't addressed the situation directly. Offset's posts remain vague. And that silence is exactly what keeps the internet filling in the blanks on its own. Because right now, nobody actually knows the full truth. They only know what they saw, what they think they saw, and what they believe it means. And that's exactly why this story is not dying anytime soon. By the time the next day rolled around, the DC situation had already turned into one of those stories the internet refuses to let go of. Because once clips, rumors, and reactions all start mixing together, the truth doesn't matter as much as the narrative people build around it. And in this case, the narrative was getting louder by the hour. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs being seen together again had already sparked enough conversation on its own, but what really pushed everything into overdrive was the combination of timing, emotion, and speculation all happening at once. Fans weren't just reacting to one moment anymore. They were connecting multiple moments from the entire night, like pieces of a puzzle that may or may not even belong together. After the initial wave of videos went viral, people started zooming in on every detail from the concert and after-party. Small things suddenly became big theories. The way Stefon Diggs reportedly reacted during Cardi's performance was turned into analysis content. The way Cardi moved through the crowd at the after-party was turned into relationship breakdown videos. Even simple background appearances of his family in the suite became part of the discussion, as if every second of that night had hidden meaning. But the most powerful part of this entire situation wasn't even the footage. It was the silence from both sides. Cardi B did not come out and explain what happened in DC. No clarificación, no confirmación, no denial. Stefon Diggs also stayed completely quiet publicly. And Offset, despite all the attention his posts were getting, didn't directly address anything related to Cardi or Stefon either. That silence created the perfect environment for speculation to grow without limits. And while fans were busy debating whether this meant a full reconciliation or just a casual meeting, another layer of conversation started taking over social media, involving trust and history. People began bringing up Cardi's past relationship experiences and comparing them to what they believed was happening now. Some fans said she tends to go back to familiar emotional connections even after walking away. Others argued she's simply someone who moves based on real-life feelings in the moment rather than public opinion. On the other side, there were fans who insisted this entire situation was being overanalyzed and that people were turning a normal post-show interaction into a dramatic storyline because of who is involved. But the internet doesn't slow down once a story reaches this level of attention. As more accounts started posting about the alleged leaving together moment, the conversation shifted again. Now it wasn't just about whether Cardi and Stefon were reconnecting. It became about what that connection actually meant. Was it emotional? Was it temporary? Was it something being rebuilt quietly away from public eyes? Or was it just a single night where two celebrities ended up in the same place at the same time and left without thinking about how it would look online? Meanwhile, the rumors surrounding Stefon Diggs only added more fuel to the fire. The alleged baby situation that started circulating online created even more confusion. Some people started saying it changes everything. Others said it has nothing to do with Cardi at all unless it's confirmed. But in celebrity culture, perception often moves faster than facts. And by the time anything gets clarified, the story has already evolved into something bigger. At the same time, Offset's name kept getting dragged back into the conversation, whether he was directly involved or not. Every vague post he shared was interpreted in different ways. Every timing coincidence was turned into meaning. And every reaction from fans became part of the larger narrative triangle forming online between Cardi, Stefon, and Offset. But through all of this, Cardi herself remained the biggest mystery in the entire situation. Because unlike the internet, she didn't rush to explain anything. She didn't jump into damage control mode. She didn't feed the speculation with responses. Instead, she stayed completely in her own lane, continuing her tour and letting the moment exist without clarification. And that silence is exactly why this story didn't fade. Because when celebrities don't confirm or deny, the internet fills in every blank with imagination. Every clip becomes evidence. Every glance becomes a clue. Every coincidence becomes a storyline. And in this case, the storyline became one of the most talked about entertainment moments of the week. By the end of it all, there still wasn't a clear answer. No official confirmation of a relationship status. No explanation of the after-party moment. No clarity on the rumor drama circulating online. Just clips, reactions, and theories floating everywhere with no solid conclusion. And that's what keeps this whole situation alive. Because right now, the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. Cardi B and Stefon are still connected in the public eye, still linked through viral moments, and still surrounded by questions that nobody has officially answered yet. And until someone finally speaks clearly, the internet will keep writing its own version of the story. And that's where I'm going to leave this one, because this story is still unfolding in real time, and every hour something new seems to drop. The DC situation, the concert moments, the after-party clips, and all these rumors are already turning into one of the most talked about celebrity topics online right now. But the real question is simple. Do you think Cardi B and Stefon are actually back together for real? Or is this just another messy chapter that the internet is blowing way out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you think is really going on here, because everybody seems to have a different version of the truth right now. And if you're following this story, you already know it's not over yet. New details could come out at any time. And when they do, you're going to want to be the first to hear about it. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed, and don't go anywhere, because if this situation develops further, I'll be breaking it down the moment it happens. And trust me, with how fast things are moving, the next update might change everything again.